Swiggity Soo, how'd you do, guys? This is Kid Pancham, and I'm back again, guys, with another episode of Pokemon Showdown Sessions. Before I go any further, though, guys, if you'd like to leave a like, comment, or even subscribe to the channel, that'd be pretty awesome, guys. But the decision, is yours, and let's get straight into it. So yesterday I was supposed to upload a video, and that's exactly what I had planned. But unfortunately, the video I had pre-recorded the day before hadn't for some reason processed, but therefore I couldn't upload it, which I'm really sorry about. I was actually supposed to upload it late last night because I was out with my friends, and I just apologise for that, guys. So I will be uploading today and tomorrow, so I hope you guys do enjoy that, and let's get straight into a battle. Tomorrow, however, the upload might be a little bit later, or I might pre-record this episode, the next episode, only because I'm going to go out on a work experience trip, just visiting different farms and checking the inspection of animals' welfare. That's basically what I'm doing at the moment. I'm doing an animal management course, so you know what, that's actually quite cool for me. And yeah, so anyway, looking at the team we are using so far, we are using Charizard Y, Nidoking, Ferrothorn, Conkeldurr, Cresselia, and Sylveon. At the moment, Sylveon isn't really doing much for me. Right now, to be honest, it wouldn't do a bad job because of Hyper Voice. The only problem is that, you know, it's just one of those Pokemon that is quite frail, so it's sometimes a little bit difficult to bring. And to be honest, I want to try out Gothitelle instead of Cresselia, just even if it's just for like one episode. I think that'd be a really interesting idea. And straight away we can see that Nidoking does do a good job here. Sorry, just had to put that out. Yeah, Nidoking does a really good job here, and I definitely want to bring it. And another Pokemon I also want to open up with is Conkeldurr. The only thing I'm quite scared of is that Kangaskhan Gengar opening. So, what can I do to stop this? I could open up with Nidoking, and yeah, Conkeldurr doesn't seem like a bad idea, because this guy's not going to Will-O-Wisp Conkeldurr just because of its ability Iron Fist, which I've actually chosen over the more popular Guts, just because it gives me damage output, and very rarely will you see somebody try and, you know, knock out a Conkeldurr, well, just to try and burn a Conkeldurr. Usually people, when they get scored onto Conkeldurr, don't like it. So you know what, actually I'm not going to open up Nidoking, because Nidoking does a good job against the Genies here, but I'm not sure my opponent will open out with them. If he does, then you know what, I'm not in a very good position, but that Kangaskhan Gengar lead's really worrying me, but I can actually do it, actually have Ferrothorn in the back. Do I want to set up Trick Room? That's my main question here. To be honest, I'm not sure I need to. Charizard does a really good job here. That Tyranitar's a little bit scary, and yeah, you know what, I reckon I could work around with Charizard. Charizard seems like a really good call here. So my opponent does open with Kangaskhan and Gengar, something that I really didn't want to see, but unfortunately I did. That's fine. What I can do this turn is that I can actually, you know what, go for... what do I want to go for here? Now looking at it, do I want to switch in Ferrothorn here? I think that wouldn't be a bad idea, to be honest. Ferrothorn puts on a lot of pressure, so I'm going to switch in Ferrothorn here for my Nidoking. And you know what, I'm just going to go straight for the Drain Punch onto this Kangaskhan, because that should do a lot of damage. Obviously, he's probably going to fake out Conkeldurr, and you might be saying, why don't you switch in Ferrothorn for that place? The only reason is because, actually, no, that's not a bad idea. I'm going to double switch. I'm going to switch into Charizard, then Ferrothorn. Sorry. Yeah, the reason I wasn't going to do it before is because, you know, Conkeldurr is a Pokemon I want to keep on the field, just because it puts a lot of pressure onto my opponent, and he's not going to burn it. He does switch out Kangaskhan into Landorus Ferrothorn. Bit of a problem there. That's fine by me though, because switch into Ferrothorn here. He goes for a Shadow Ball, actually. Nice. So right, if you don't know already, guys, this Charizard Y here is actually made to survive Rock Slides from Landorus, so I'm actually just going to go straight for that. I'm going to go for a Flamethrower onto Landorus, as well as a Gyro Ball. Yeah, I'm going to go for a Gyro Ball as well. I can actually see him not go for the Rock Slide here, just to try and predict me to switch out Charizard or to protect. But since we're such a bulky Zard, we will survive the Rock Slide. It is EV'd. It's got so many EVs into HP and defense, is unbelievable. It's like 252 HP and like 148 defense, which is kind of insane. But it is such a good Pokemon, and I really do like Flamethrower Charizard over Heatwave Charizard. It might be useful in this situation, but I'm not sure. I just love it so much. So he does go straight for a Rock Slide. As you can see now, we survive it. Do we flinch? No, we don't flinch, which is fantastic. And Landorus just goes down straight like that, which is fantastic for us. Wow. That's pretty incredible, to be honest. Wow. So a thing I want to do this turn is somehow get my Nidoking in just to take out the Thundurus, because Nidoking, my opponent doesn't know yet, is actually scarce, so that means it will outspeed the Thundurus. Thundurus can't Thunder Wave it. It can Swagger it, of course, but you know what? Like that's okay. Looking at my Charizard now, I don't think he can do much more to help me out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Flamethrower the Thundurus, and I'm actually just gonna protect with my Ferrothorn. Basically because I don't need to do any more. In fact, a better play would be to Flamethrower the Kangaskhan and protect with Ferrothorn, just so I can, you know, bring in Mach Punch on my Conkeldurr. Since it is Iron Fist, it will get the knockout, which is fantastic after a Flamethrower. I can leave Flamethrower just straight down O-Code Landorus just like that. It probably, well, it most definitely was Scarf because it locked itself into, well, it didn't lock itself into Rock Slide, but it just went straight for Rock Slide, and it was speedy, so he obviously was expecting my Charizard not to survive that, but it did because Charizard is so clutch. And also he didn't get one flinch, which is fantastic. If he got a flinch there, I would have been in a bit of trouble, but it's just fantastic how Charizard can survive Rock Slides like that. 4 times effective against a Pokemon with a base attack of 140, I think, and that's pretty incredible. So he has Mega here, and he actually goes for Protect, which is fine by me. I do Protect Ferrothorn here. He goes for Swagger onto Charizard, which is fine. If I knock myself into confusion, that's even better. Unfortunately, I don't. That's fine by me though. This turn, I'm just going to go straight for the Flamethrower onto Kangaskhan and switch out into Nidoking, because if he goes for a low kick onto Ferrothorn, that's fine by me. What he's probably going to end up doing this turn is Thunderbolt and Charizard and low kicking Ferrothorn. Since Nidoking is poison typing, it does mean it resists it. That's always a good thing to do, guys. If you're playing VGC, it's just to learn your typings. You can always go on something like Bulbapedia, and there's even a way you can actually do it. Wow, substitute. Oh my god. Okay, I'm a bit in trouble here, am I? Hang on. Oh, now I hit myself in confusion. Fantastic. Oh dear. Anyway, like I was saying before, what was I saying? It's always good to learn your typings. There is even a function on Pokemon Showdown. I don't know it, but you can actually learn your typings, because I don't need to learn them because I've already learned them enough. This time I'm going to actually double up into the Thundurus. The reason for this is because I think my opponent will protect his Kangaskhan here, which would be really good for us. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also just going to Sludge Ball Thundurus. Oh wow, he doesn't. Which is well, isn't fantastic, sorry. I hit myself in confusion again, which is really bad. Yeah, we've lost this game to Swagger, guys. Wow. We had this game in the bag and everything. My opponent, you know, just pretty much just ruined us. So what I'm going to go for this turn is a Gyro Ball onto the Kangaskhan. And a Sludge Bomb. So he goes for the Thunder Wave onto Ferrothorn, that's fine. I hit myself in confusion again. Gets a return off, which is stupid. And I get fully paralyzed. So as you can tell, RNG really wasn't in our favor this game. And I'm not going to let my opponent finish the game, because RNG, you know, just isn't there for me. And I really don't like it when people rely on it like my opponent did. My opponent here has a team, well, a very, definitely a very standard team of Kangaskhan, Sylveon, Talonflame, Abreu, Landorus Fairy Form, and Thundurus Incarnate Form. So I really like this team. You can see that Charizard does a real good job here, especially if Trick Room's up. That's why I'm going to open up Cresselia here, just so I do have a really good chance of getting my Trick Room up. Pokemon to go with it would definitely be Ferrothorn, which would be a really nice idea. You can tell my opponent's Talonflame does a really good job against my team, which is something I sort of need to work on. But you know what, for that reason, I might open up Nidoking. Yep, I'm going to open up Nidoking. Got Charizard in the back, obviously. Do I want to bring Sylveon? Not really. Ferrothorn, however, does a really good job. Ferrothorn is a really nice anti-chalk mode, which I really like on this team. So he does open up with Sylveon and Kangaskhan, which is fine by me. Because this turn I can go for a Psychic onto Sylveon. In fact, this time I can go for a Helping Hand onto Nidoking. Go for a Sludge Bomb. I think my opponent's going to fake up Cresselia in fear of, is that a smart play though? No, it's not really, is it? This time I'm going to go for a Trick Room, and I'm going to bring in Charizard here. Do I want to do that? Or Ferrothorn? Ferrothorn's going to be a safer option, to be honest. Ferrothorn, yeah, definitely is a safer option. He goes for a fake out onto Ferrothorn, which is fantastic. He gets Iron Barbs damage, of course, which is even better. He goes for a Side Shock onto Ferrothorn as well. So he did double up, which is fantastic. Good thing I didn't bring in Charizard. So yeah, we're in a really good position right now. This turn, I'm just going to go for a Helping Hand onto Ferrothorn. And I'm going to go straight for a Gyrable onto that Kangaskhan, because a Helping Hand Gyrable will take it out, which is fantastic. Sylveon can't really do much to Ferrothorn unless it's got Hidden Power Fire, and you can tell it doesn't because he obviously went for the switch. So we do get that Gyrable off, which actually straight down OHKOs it, which is fantastic. So we do have a Thundurus here, which is a bit of a problem, and he has a Landorus obviously as well. That's great though, because this turn we can go for a Psychic onto the Landorus, and we can actually Leech Seed the Thundurus if we really want to. In fact, now I'm going to protect Ferrothorn this turn. Ferrothorn is a big deal to my opponent. He goes for a Thunder Wave onto Cresselia, obviously. Cresselia gets fully paralyzed because, you know, it wouldn't be Pokemon without it. Oh dear, this is annoying. Okay. So this turn I'm going to Psychic the Landorus once again, and this turn I'm going to go for a Power Whip. No, I'm not. I'm going to go for a Gyrable, because Gyrable should do more. Yep. So he goes for another Thunder Wave, which is great. Get a Gyrable off, which is nice. Get a Psychic off as well. Landorus goes to the Earthquake, which, you know, it hits Ferrothorn, but not for enough damage for it to do much. So this time I'm going to go for a Psychic onto the Landorus, and I'm actually going to go for a Leech Seed onto the Thundurus. Reason for this is because Psychic does take out Landorus from this range, or that's what it looks like anyway. And getting a Leech Seed onto Thundurus will do a lot of good to us. He does... Oh, Ferrothorn gets paralyzed. Okay, but we do break through Power Hacks and do get the... and we do, in fact, get the Psychic off to take out Landorus. Right, this is... Well, now we're not in a bad position here. We're in a really good position because we've got Charizard and Nidoking in the back, which is really good for us. So this turn, I'm just going to go for a Psychic onto the Thundurus. And I'm going to go for a Gyrable onto the Sylveon. So he goes for a Swagger onto the Ferrothorn. Oh dear. He gets a Hyper Voice off, which doesn't do too much. And we hit ourselves in Confusion twice. Great. I'm really sick of Power Hacks, I'm not going to lie. I'm just going to go for the same here. This might be a bit reckless, but you know what, we can't really do much at the moment. Go to the Hyper Voice, that's fine. Get a Psychic off onto Sylveon. Ferrothorn snaps out of Confusion, gets the Gyrable, and it actually straight down takes out the Sylveon. You would expect that because, you know, Ferrothorn have a really big attack stat at the moment. So what I'm going to do is go for a Moonlight and a Protect with my Ferrothorn, just because I think he will go into it. Yep. Cresselia gets a Moonlight off, which is fantastic as well. We're in a really good position to win here. So what I'm going to do is just Psychic the Thundurus and go for a Gyrable. Okay. In fact, yeah, I'm going to go for a Gyrable. Goes for a Thunderbolt, takes out Ferrothorn, unfortunately. Confusion ends. We get the Psychic off with our Cresselia, which is even better. This time we're going to bring in Nidoking, which should do a really good job here. What we're going to go for is a Helping Hand here onto Nidoking and an Ice Beam. He can Swagger us if he wants. Cresselia obviously gets confused because why not? And we hit ourselves in Confusion. Yay! This is amazing. So I'm just going to go for the same. My opponent can't do much more. Oh my goodness. I can't believe that just happened. Ugh. Nidoking. Alright, what I'm going to go for this turn is a Trick Room. And I'm going to go for a Protector to Charizard, just because I want to get Trick Room so Charizard outspeeds this Thundurus. In Trick Room, obviously. Cresselia fortunately gets up Trick Room. Just going to go for a Helping Hand here onto my Charizard. Again, nice Flamethrower off onto this Thundurus. This should take it out. Helping Hand obviously succeeds. Goes for the Thunder Wave. Do not get paralyzed, Charizard. Doesn't. Gets a Flamethrower off, and that is a good victory for us. We win the battle, and that moves us up to a 12-14 rating. I have dropped a few points, guys, because of like RNG. Not just RNG, but I played a couple of games off screen, and I was using my Rain team, and I just kept losing Weather Wars to Charizards, which was a bit of a problem. But it's great to just see that this team does win. RNG is definitely a big factor that I'm not liking at the moment. I think Nidoking does deserve a thumbnail for this video, just because, you know, it likes to hit itself in Confusion. You know, self-harm isn't cool, man. Isn't cool at all. But anyway, let's get straight into it. We do come up against a really nice team of Sylveon, Heatran, Amoonguss, Thundurus, Kangaskhan, Landorus. I say really nice team. I actually hate this team, you know, because it's just horrible. What is it? Chalk? No, Cresselia. It's like Shulk with the Amoonguss instead of Cresselia. So, how are we going to deal with this team? To be honest, Sylveon doesn't do anything again against my opponent. Well, it does, but not fantastic amounts. I definitely want to open up with Nidoking this time. And another Pokemon I could open up with is Ferrothorn, just to, you know, stop Fake Out going onto it. Pokemon I want in the back. I want Cresselia here, definitely, and I want Conkeldurr. I'm not going to bring Charizard just because Heatran's here. But then again, I do have Hidden Power Ground. So I'm actually going to do that. So I'm going to have Charizard and Conkeldurr. Yeah, I'm not going to bring Trick Room to this matchup just because I think I don't need it to win. Obviously, I can survive the Rock Slide from Landorus, which is fantastic. So we do come against Ronnie Coleman VGC. Have no idea who that person is. Maybe they are quite a good player in the VGC community. However, I've never heard of them. So let's see if we're in for a good matchup. I think we will be. And just good game. Well, good luck to my opponent. So yeah. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the content. Like I said, I am sorry I didn't upload yesterday. I was planning on doing it. I had everything ready, and then for some reason my computer, for some reason it didn't save the video I pre-recorded. But yeah, that's not the worst thing in the world. And yeah, so thank you guys for the support, especially with all the likes. 4 likes a video, it's not too bad. To be honest, I would like to get more views with the amount of people we have on the channel. But you know what, I'm not complaining. And it should be good. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is that I'm just going to pause the video, just because my opponent is taking a long time, and I shall see you in a second. As you can see, guys, that my opponent did in fact just was inactive. She ran down all the timers, so you know, we're just gonna get straight into another battle. So 4 battles for you today, guys, but that third one didn't really count because there was actually no gameplay. It was just obviously my opponent not playing. We do come against a cool team here though, consisting of Venusaur, Goodra, Metagross, Sylveon, Scrafty, and Hydreigon. Really nice team, and you can see that Sylveon does a really good job here, because we then have Charizard for everything else, for the Venusaur and the Metagross. So I'm definitely bringing Sylveon here. Obviously, Ferrothorn does a good job, so I'm going to open up with Cresselia and Sylveon here. I'm going to have Charizard in the back, as well as Ferrothorn. So this should actually do really good for us. He opens up with Goodra and Metagross, which, you know what, it's fine by me. This turn I can switch into Charizard and actually go for a Protect with my Sylveon. Just because if I do this, that means that Cresselia switches out into my Charizard. Charizard then can set the sun, put low pressure onto Metagross, which would be fantastic. Goes for an Iron Head, which is great. And he goes for a Dragon Pulse onto Charizard. Doesn't do much at all, which is even better. This turn I can Mega Evolve, go straight for a Flamethrower onto the Metagross. And I'm actually going to switch out into Ferrothorn here, just because Ferrothorn, you know, resists the Iron Head. He goes for Rock Slide. Oh my god. That sucks so bad. How am I going to KO this Metagross now? Crap. Okay. Right. Right, this time I'm going to have to go for a Trick Room. And I'm going to Leech Seed this Metagross here. So it goes for an Iron Head onto Cresselia here. It goes for a Flamethrower onto Ferrothorn, which takes me out. And Cresselia flinches. Yeah, we've lost this game. I know we've lost this game. Yeah, we've really got outplayed here. That Rock Slide Metagross was really unexpected. But then again, those sort of unexpected moves can win you games, as my opponent just displayed here. Charizard obviously dealt with so much of his team. Like, not much of his team actually resisted, apart from the Hydreigon and the Goodra. And I had Sylveon for both of those, but I can't do anything now. So what I'm going to go for this turn is just a Trick Room and a Protect with my Sylveon. Hopefully by some miracle I can, you know, get Trick Room out. Goes for a Flamethrower onto Cresselia. Doesn't do much. Gets the burn now. This game just isn't with me, is it? This time I'm going to go for a Moonlight, and I'm just going to go for another Protect. Hopefully, you know, just... Yeah, we failed to Protect, that's fine. Goes to Sludge Wave anyway. Does a lot of damage, just... Well, doesn't do that much. Gets the Poison as well. Oh my goodness. Goes for an Iron Head, and that's game. I can't do anything here, guys. I'll just be stalling out my opponent, so I'm going to just forfeit this game. So that was a really big 4-0. Yeah, so unexpected moves and RNG for this episode. Wow. I thank you so much, guys, for watching. I hope you did enjoy as much as I did. It's really cool coming up against new things like that. It's just a new learning curve. I'm not angry that I lost those games. I'm just happy that, you know, I had the chance to go up against them. So thank you for watching, guys. Go check out my other content. And for now, Panjam people, goodbye. Wait, before I go, the music stopped. Why did the music stop? Anyway, guys, goodbye.